was just home for like Christmas break in Georgia, so I'm back. And we have a different background because now that I have the ring light, I can kind of use it as a tripod and, you know, have different angles for me to work with. So, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is a realization that I had after smoking. I smoked 2 times since being here, and there's just something about it. Not cigarettes. No. But there's just something about like smoking weed that has an awakening effect, and it helps you like process things differently than you would if you weren't smoking. So like typically I'm so in my head and I have a difficult time like just calming myself down, so that's what I did. And I had these 2 really big realizations, and it's kind of helping me better understand myself in my own journey as well as like other people. So I thought that I would share it with you all. I came across this Alan Watts video, and if you guys don't know who Alan Watts is, he is a like I think he's like a psychologist or something, but let me look him up. Alan Watts. I've watched his videos before. He's a writer. Okay. Okay, he is a writer and speaker known for interpreting and popularizing Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism for a Western audience. So he basically breaks down these concepts in a really concise, good, clear way for like everybody to understand. And there's this video that someone did like a sketching, like draw over type of thing, and they went over this topic of like money and like our ego and stuff like that. So this screenshot, if you guys can see it, can we see this at all? So all the way on the left side of the screen, all the way over this way, you can see there's like bodies hanging on a rack of clothes, and it says idea of ourselves, and the guy is looking at the rack trying to decide what he wants to be. And each of these creatures, it's like a bodysuit, like a skin suit almost, and it's like 3 different versions of himself, like maybe not even himself, but just 3 different versions that he thinks that he should be. And then it says who you think you are is entirely dependent on who people have told you you are. And then he's asking, what are you really afraid of? And the girl said, I'm afraid of death. And then I guess his response, like, what do you really mean by that, is I'm afraid of what people are going to say. They're going to say, poor old Gert, she couldn't last it through. So like she is projecting her own insecurities, and that is her fear. So that's just an example. That one wasn't really the most helpful thing in the world, but the part that I want to focus on is these skin suit type ideas. And basically at the end of the day, what we all are doing is we are trying to curate this idea of like, who am I, what clothes do I want to wear, what image do I want to portray to the world, to people, my peers, to my work, to my boyfriend. Like I feel like I'm a little bit of a different version of myself in different scenarios, and I think that's very normal because we all don't really know who we are in a sense, right? But over time, once you do different self-discovery things and like your personal journey and everything, you start to understand yourself more, therefore knowing what you like, what makes you happy, what style of things that you like. And maybe if you're an artist, what kind of art you make. Like you're gonna evolve over time, and you're not just gonna do one thing one way, be one way, look one way the rest of your life. Like you're constantly growing and evolving. So I just thought this concept was really interesting to kind of like better understand and grasp who we are. I feel a little insecure in a way. Like I said, don't have a lot of friends, don't spend a lot of time with a lot of people, but I had a friend ask if he could come over, like, oh, like, let's smoke and chill, like, whatever. And I know it wouldn't be sexual. I know that for a fact, but there's just something about letting another person into my intimate space and personal space that it just kind of wakes me out in a weird way. And it's like my level of cleanliness and like how I like to keep things or whatever watch a movie with him, or is that like not an activity that I'm willing to do or wanting to do? I don't know if you guys go like that deep in your head about this kind of stuff, but I definitely do. And I overthink a lot of different things, and I'm very self-aware. So down to the clothes that I wear, down to like the way my hair is gonna look, or like whatever it is, like style. I wouldn't want to go out with like a little pony. I'll just show you what I used to do. So like I would do a little thing like this, and then like a little bun on the top, and like roll it around, and like whatever. And then the little hair tie that I had a little bow in it, kind of. It was like, it didn't look little girlish. It was from Free People, but I don't want to look that way in certain scenarios because it makes me look too feminine, or you know what I mean? Or like if you're with your man or something, and you know, this is my experience. Y'all got your own stuff, but whenever I'm with my man, like I want to look sexy because I don't let myself look like that under any circumstance with anyone else. Like I don't want other people to look at me, and I don't want people to sexualize my body, or like honestly be attracted to me, which is so crazy. It's like I'm only embracing my divine feminine energy, that part of my nature, with my man, or if I'm by myself and it's not for using outside, because my apartment gets really cold, the floors get cold, so like I don't always want to just wear like a cutie little tank top and like look all cute, you know. So I'll usually cover up, but whatever you decide to do has an effect on your perception of yourself. Like I have a clothing rack out right now and it's pastels, and I'm like, why am I even wearing pastels? Like, I think my point with all of this is just to question everything and like reassess and reevaluate why you're doing what you're doing. Is it for you, or is it for other people? And you may not want to admit that it's for other people, but a lot of the times it kind of is. And I'm saying that I'm in this category too. Like this whole art thing, whenever I got back, I realized I have so much art hanging up, right? I said that, and it stresses me out. It really truly does, because it's like, oh my god, you are like obsessed with yourself. You're the only one you hang out with. By the way, I'm filming this video for the second time, so forgive me if I'm like repeating the same thing, or if I didn't say this yet, I don't know. But anyways, like these are all artworks that have to do with me and my transformation and my journey and my pain that I felt. Like this is like the butterfly caterpillar kind of transitional evolution experience. Then we have these swans, the dark and the light swan, and I made this at a time where I was trying to accept my partner's darker sides of himself and also the darker sides of myself, and know that you need a balance. And then this is like learning how to trust your head, heart, or your gut, and which one, like they all should be in alignment with one another. And if you're having differentiations and answers from these three organs in your body, the gut feelings, then that's a problem and you need to work on yourself. So it's like, it's very deep and it's very overwhelming. And I watched a reader last night, like a tarot reading kind of thing, but she's more like a psychic channeler, and she was saying that if you are a very passionate, emotional person, you need to pour that energy into something. So it could be art, it could be like your passion, whatever it is you're passionate about. Like you need to channel that energy somewhere. And if you can't, it's like not good for people like us who have so much passion, drive, vision, clarity, like all this stuff. Like if we don't do anything with it and we just try to live like everyone else, then we are going to suffer severely. Like trying to put yourself in a box, pretty much. And if you're just a out of the box person, that's what you're supposed to be. So don't keep trying to force any particular image on yourself. And with that, I'm learning it's just a bunch of experimentation. These artworks, they may not, like they're all a part of my story. So I'm trying to decide, should I take this down? Because this was last semester and I'm a new person today. But I think it's not as clear and black and white as that. I think it's a lot more complex. Like we are our past, we are our history. And I was reflecting on like a past relationship that I was in that was so bad for me. And it was bad for me because I didn't have a sense of self at all during it. I did what he wanted all the time, and I kind of like let his version of what he thinks I am be me, and that wasn't my true self. And then in the next relationship, I carried that over, and I didn't heal because because I didn't even know that I was broken, right? So there's just going to be a whole line of events. Everyone's story is different, and it's interesting. It's truly interesting. Like, the healing process. I made this comment on YouTube on a reader's page, and I said, I feel like I've been putting healing in quotation marks because I feel like I'm not really doing the best job at it. I'm doing what I think that I can do. I'm trying the best that I think that I'm trying, and that's enough, right? Like, my best is the best that I can do. And you also need to keep in mind, like, your limitations, and if are you self-limiting out of comfort zone and out of fear of change, or do you genuinely know that this is a value of yours, that you're not willing to do X, Y, and Z? If that's the case, respect the boundary. And this journey is also about creating boundaries for yourself. So if you can't create a boundary, you're not fully living in your truth. But it takes time to develop boundaries, to even know what a boundary is. So I'm hoping that this stuff is like a little bit helpful to you guys, and maybe helping you feel more relaxed about your journey and not as hard on yourself, because I know that I'm really hard on myself, and it's a challenge to try to break out of that habit. But I just really want to get better at being and relaxing and not putting so much pressure on the meaning of everything. Like, these clothes out right now, I don't know. Maybe I should just have them out. Maybe I should just clear out my space and have fresh stuff. I'm not sure what's best for me yet, but I'm just gonna try to live with it for a second, think about it, process it, get signs and signals about it somehow, and just relax. Like, just clear this feeling that I have, because I don't want to be my critic in my head all the time anymore, because I feel like I've worked hard enough to know who I am, to the point where I don't need to like try to prove a point or like force it to anybody. You know what I mean? Force them to see me in a certain way, because I truly can't. Yeah. So that is it for today's video. I just wanted to do a quick hop on. Just know I don't like the angle of this. Like, it's very awkward, and this is like not my favorite side of my face. I prefer this side. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. By the way, by the time that I have my next like 3 scheduled uploads up, will be like 2 weeks. So this is kind of past Madison talking to you.